Hello, welcome to another episode of eTraining Guide. Today we're going to be talking about deploying Office 365 versus maybe Office 2019. So here's some things to consider when you're doing those deployments. One is to review your license agreement with Microsoft. You may have an E3 or E5 or a volume license with Microsoft. So depending on which license agreement you have with Microsoft will probably determine what package you go with and what you deploy out to your environment. And then also, and then that also determines what packages you deploy. And the activation requirements for both 365 and 2019. There are differences, and so I want to go over that in this video. And how to manage those packages, whichever you choose. So that's what we're going to go over today. So let's get started. So I brought up this article, Microsoft, and I'm going to bring this over here. Now, 365 is, here's some additional details here, but if you go, usually when you deploy Office 365, majority of the time you're probably deploying it to the end user, meaning they have a primary computer. They're logging into that computer. They probably log in every single day, and they're using the Office product every day. So every day they're kind of getting that token. So initially when you log in, you're going to be required to register that application. That computer needs to have internet access, and then it validates that access with your Intune user account to see if you have a license, like an EA agreement or something like that. And then what happens, it obtains a token, and that token is stored locally on your computer for 30 days. And then, like I said, and then that user has up to 5 devices they can register with, and they'll be fine. They'll be able to open the documents, edit the documents, and create their documents. And for devices that have a shared, workstation or a server, for example, then you want to do a shared computer activation. And how that works is the user logs in, they register just like they normally would, and that token is again stored for 30 days. Now, if the user doesn't log in, now the only thing about the shared computer license is it's not limited to the 5 devices. You can log into as many, computers, shared computers, or servers as you wish, but you'll have to register each time. And then that token gets stored for 30 days, or each time you log into, if you log into 15 shared computers or 15 servers, you'll have to go through that registration process to get that token. So it is more activation process on the user side when you do the shared version. VDI is another example of using the shared license key or shared package, which when I did my video last week on creating that package, I chose to share just to kind of show you the different options, and I just chose to share because there's 3 options. There's the user base, the shared base, and then the device base. Now, device base is primary reserved for like education and like medical. So your enterprise agreement may not cover that. So it really depends on your agreement with Microsoft and what you can deploy out to your environment. And of course, that shared machine will need to have internet access, just like the service would need to have internet access depending on where you're deploying the Office package to. Now, the Office 2019 is a volume license version. It is the latest, it is covered under the same E3, E5 license agreement with Microsoft. And so you could still deploy that out. You wouldn't have as many issues with the activation because it's like a one-time thing. It's a little different. And again, you'll have to upgrade, like when Microsoft comes out with, Office 2020 or Office 2022 or something like that, then you'll have to, upgrade your package and then, deploy that out or upgrade your clients to the newer version of Office. Now with the 365 package, I chose the semi-channel in my last video. And so every month I'm going to have to update that package because every month it's going to come out with a new version. And so you just retire the old version and then replace with the new version every month. So there's going to be a little bit more management involved with the 365, but you do have access to all of the 365 apps to go along with it. So again, I just wanted to bring out those differences between the Office 365 and 2019 with that. So let's go over how to deploy Office 365. Now gotta log in again. The last video I walked over how to create the package. So I did that already in my last video. So if you haven't seen that, I'll put that link in the description. So anyways, I created this Office 365 package. I created a 32-bit. You can create a 32-bit versus 64-bit. You can create both of them if you have, different architectures in your environment. But I just chose the 36 just for training purposes. And then it creates the package. It creates the when you create it within SCCM, it creates the package. It creates the detection rule. It creates all that for you, and it downloads all of the information, and then it creates its own configuration XML, which is nice. And then of course you can create uninstall if you wanted to do that. So I'll go over how to do that in maybe another video or something. And then you just kind of, you don't want to set it to, we'll just set it to hidden. We don't want normal. And then, so I'm going to deploy this package to one of my Windows 10 machines. You can see that whole process. And then when I launch the application, the registration part, the activation part that you'll have to do. So with that, let's go ahead and create a collection. Let's see what collection I want to deploy this to. Let's see. Yeah, let's go to Windows 10. Let's do that. So let's go back over here. Now I'm just going to do it available so you can just see how long it takes. It takes about 10 minutes-ish. Let me make sure that I distributed to the all the DPs first. Yes, I did. Okay. You want to make sure you do that. So we're going to go click on deploy. Now when you do it as an available, you don't have to worry about maintenance windows or anything like that if you're using maintenance window for all your deployments. So we're just going to do available so you can see that side of the process. And yep, we're going to do available. Now you can do available or you can do required, but we're just going to do available because I don't have a maintenance window here, so I can still do it. But we're just going to go do available so you can see. So you don't have to worry about the restart requirements or all that stuff. Alright, so now I've got it deployed over there, Windows 10. I'll also put the link in the description, the information about the different activation processes around 365 versus 2019. And there's also support matrix as to what operating system you can install, one versus the other. And then the end of life for those applications as well, those versions of Office. So let me bring this over here. So I'll put that in a link in the description as well. So we're going to go, we're going to go over here. We're going to do machine evaluation. So it knows about the change. Then I usually wait like 5-ish seconds, maybe 10 seconds. And then I do an application deployment evaluation because that's what we're doing. There it is. So like I said, it took a few minutes for it to show up. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. I'm going to click on install. Now it does take a few minutes to install because it is kind of a big application. So we're going to give it a few minutes and we'll be right back. As you can see, it's now installing. Now because I'm logged in, you're seeing this little dialog box, but if I wasn't logged in, it would do this on its own. And so I'm just installing just the main Office app, but there's a lot of other stuff you can choose when you create the package. And then there's some settings that you can tweak in terms of when it gets installed, some of the things that the users will see, or to first run type stuff, and there's a lot of options. But I didn't go over all of them because there's a ton of things that you can tweak within these apps when you create the XML file for this package or for the Office. So I'm going to let that finish. Okay, so the installation is now finished. So it's kind of doing great. So now we close that. And now it's installed. As you can see, the detection rule has determined that Office is now installed on this computer. And so now when I click on any of the Office products, so if I go to, let's do Word, for example, it's going to ask me to register. If I do a blank document, if you actually go into, see, it's going to say sign in. Hold on just one second. Let me show you. I think there is a, accept. You see right here, it says activation required. So now I need to sign in. So this is the registration process. Now it's going to have me log into my Microsoft account. So I'm going to do that right now. Now it's going through and checking the my account, make sure that I have a license or subscription for Office 365, and it'll determine that I do, and then I'll obtain that token key or token for this machine, and then I can use Office on here. You only have to activate one of these. You don't have to go to each one of these like Word, Excel, Access, and do this on each one. You just have to do it on one of these. And then now, as you can see, I have a subscription, so it's not the Enterprise. Otherwise, it'll say something else as Enterprise. Now this product is now activated, and so now I can create and this PC. I'm just going to give it a name, test. Save and close. Now I was able to save a document and close it because I registered. Now if your token expires, the only thing that user is going to be able to do is read the document and review documents. That's basically it. They're not going to be able to edit it because their license expired on their shared computer. You won't see this problem on primary users' machine because they log in every day and they're launching one of those apps pretty much on a daily basis. So that token is good for 30 days. And again, I'll put all the information about this in the description below. And that's basically it. I mean, you can do a required deployment, push it out to all the machines. However you want to do it. You can do a maintenance window for specific hours that you want to do that, like after hours and what have you. So that's that. And then, so that's basically how you deploy it. Now, okay, so that's basically it when it comes to deploying Office 365 versus what happens, in deploying Office 2019. So with that's basically it for deploying Office 29. I think I'm going to do a separate video on how to do the automatic deployment rules for the updates for Office 365 and 2019. Because I need to synchronize my Office 365 updates, and they do take some time to do, so I don't want to delay uploading this video by waiting for that. So I'm going to do that on a separate video. Anyways, if you like this video, give this video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. There's going to be a lot more content coming your way. And again, I'll put all of the links in the comment section below for you to review and look at in terms of the activation, the licensing requirements, and some of the components that you want to select when creating your packages. And I'll also link the other video I did on creating the Office 365 package down below as well. Again, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye-bye.